One of the biggest problems President Obama faces in Afghanistan is President Hamid Karzai. He presides over a government that's been called everything from inept to corrupt. When Hamid Karzai became the interim president of Afghanistan in 2001, there were great expectations that he would be an honest leader.
A majority of Afghans, even including some people in the Taliban, thought that Hamid Karzai was the right person to lead the country towards peace and stability.
But 8 years later, both his people and his allies worry he's anything but honest.
Now, most people seem to be deeply disappointed that he's failed as a leadership and he presides over a corrupt administration.
When he ran for re-election the second time, Karzai chose Marshal Fahim as a running mate. He's believed to be a drug dealer and a warlord.
The coalition President Karzai put together to support him in this election drew on, frankly, some of the worst elements of recent Afghan history.
And when the election was held in August, there were so many reports of fraud committed by Karzai's supporters that a massive recount and UN investigation are still underway. His opponent, Dr. Abdullah, refuses to concede.
I think had he had the best interest of Afghanistan in his heart, he would have respected the law of the country, the constitution, the electoral law, as well as the electoral process.
There are also accusations that Karzai's own brother is linked to the drug trade. He's the leader of Kandahar in southern Afghanistan, the region which produces 90% of the world's heroin and opium.
There's no security, and it seems that the mafia have more say in the President's palace than ordinary people.
Bill, how are you?
The commander of the U.S. forces in Afghanistan admits all of these allegations of corruption make his job a lot harder.
Does this corruption drive people into the arms of the Taliban?
It absolutely does. A lack of trust in their own government undercuts the willingness to give their support to the government.
And if the Afghan people don't support their government, they might not join an army to defend it, making it almost impossible to predict how long U.S. forces will have to stay.
I'm not going to, put a happy face on and say, oh yeah, we'll get that done in a year or two. This is hard work, and it requires having a government that has the trust, the confidence, and the loyalty of the security forces.